Hi, so today we are going to work on headstands. There's lots of different variations of headstands that you can work on, but particularly today we're going to start with interlaced fingers. So there's lots of different ways of approaching it, and I just want to move real slow. So I rolled my mat up a couple of times so that it's nice and padded. You don't have to do this, but if you're first starting out and this is your first time, you should try it. So what you want to do is you want to start on your hands and your knees. And then there's the rounded part of your forehead, the flat top of your head, and then the rounded back part of your head. And what you want to do is you want to roll around until you can come onto the flat top of your head. So you can take your hands down to the floor and just roll around a little bit, getting used to your head being upside down. Rolling back and forth, back and forth. And then you'll know you're on the flat top of your head when you graze your fingertips along the back of the neck and it is nice and long and flat. So if you are more on the rounded part of your head, then your spine is going to be in a diagonal, and that's not really long and flat up and down. Good. Once you're there, slowly pull yourself back up. Good. And you can take your time working on that, just rolling around it on the top of your head, just getting used to being upside down, because psychologically that really starts to develop the upside down feel and gets rid of fear. So the next part is to interlace your fingers. Now this is one of my favorite parts in yoga. Your fingers are doing nothing except telling you that you're safe. And that is wonderful, isn't it? It makes you feel like your fingers are holding you up, when really they're doing nothing. The key part about this is to draw the shoulder blades down your back so that your neck continues to find length, and then pull the elbows in towards one another. And I'll show you both angles. So interlace your fingers behind your head, and they're not holding onto your head, they're just grazing the hair. And then bring the top of your head down to the mat. Good, so you can see my fingers are wiggling, they're not really holding on too tight. And then you're going to pull the elbows in. So they're about shoulder width apart. And I'll show you as far as this is concerned, upside down. Good, so normally the elbows are out wide, but you're going to pull them in right underneath the shoulders. And then you're going to pull the shoulder blades down your back so you're finding length in the neck. Good. And then slowly bring yourself back up. The next part is to curl your toes. Now you don't have to lift up quite yet, but if you'd like to, you can press back to a downward dog on your head. Remember again that the shoulders are pulling down back towards your hips so that you're finding length in the neck. You constantly want to have length in the neck, no compression here. That doesn't feel good. So, coming down onto the top of your head, bring the elbows in. Go ahead and set up nice and slowly, just like you were doing before, curling your toes. That's going to send your hips back. You can stay here or press back into that downward dog on your head. Now again, we're pulling the shoulder blades back towards your hips so that your neck is nice and long. And then you can hang out here for a few moments. You can heel toe your feet. You can play a little bit. Or you can come all the way back down and start over again. Okay? Alright, so from here, you go a little bit farther, and if you'd like to, for your very first one, take it up to the wall. Now another very key point here in the headstand is not to hop. You're using your core muscles. That's all of your abs, and it's not just the front, but it also wraps all the way around through your back. So you want to go nice and slow, and if you can't step up to the wall, and I'll show you in just a moment, if you can't step up to the wall, then just stay lifting the leg up as high as you can. And then after a few times, it will probably feel a little bit better to lift up a little bit higher and higher until you can get up to the wall. No hopping in headstands, particularly this one. So setting up just like we did before, you're interlacing your fingers, pulling the shoulder blades down your back, curling the toes, sending your hips up and back for that downward dog on your head, and then start to walk your toes in. Good, as far as you can towards your elbows. Again, you have to always remind yourself to pull the shoulder blades up towards your hips. And then all you're going to do is step one leg up high. And then maybe try the other. Good, until it feels until it feels as if you can just step all the way up to the wall. Good, now you can use the wall for support if you'd like to, or you can come away from the wall. Now once you're upside down, you want to pull the tailbone up towards the sky. That's going to control those abs, keeping them in contact here. Whenever you're ready, you just bring one foot down to the floor and back down to your hands and knees and sit up. Good. So there's your first headstand. Again, like I said, you move nice and slowly, one step at a time. The slower you go, the more you have awareness of each part of your body that's working hard to get yourself up there. Now, once you're in the full headstand, there's lots of fun things that you can do. Tons of variations that feel wonderful, but I want you to work on one step at a time, getting yourself up there. And if you didn't quite get all the way to the wall, don't worry about it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. One step at a time, getting your legs up there. Remember, there's no hopping here. We want to move nice and slowly. Treat it like you would any other pose that you're trying to work hard to get towards. Thanks.